Hello, welcome to Learning Every Day with me, Lisa Aaron. I'm here to help you learn. Join our learning circle and subscribe. Today I'm going to be teaching about characters in a story. I hope you like this lesson, and if you do, give it a thumbs up and subscribe. The definition of character is the complexity of a character through the physical appearance, personality, and state of being. Characters are the people, animals, and even imaginary creatures that live through the events in a story. Some characters are memorable because of how the author describes them, how they look, act, or talk. Some authors make their characters interesting by giving details about what the characters think or feel. Who is your favorite character? Everyone has a favorite character that they admire and just want to be like. Think of your favorite character from a book, a movie, or a television show you have enjoyed. Then answer the questions. What is their name? What does your character look like? Explain why you admire this character. Developing characters in our writing. To make your character come alive, you need to know how they think, how they feel, what they like and dislike. I've been here before. This looks disgusting. I would never. List 5 words or phrases that describe this character. You can stop the video now and write your answer. For example, this character, I might describe him as being surprised. He has a very surprised look on his face. He's studious. He's shy. Nice. Popular. Curious. I would have loved to have seen all the answers that you came up with. You can write them in the comments below and share them with me. List 2 things he dislikes. You can stop the video and write those 2 things. Something that he might dislike would be, for example, cleaning fish, being late, afraid of heights, snakes. He dislikes snakes. List 2 things he likes. You can stop the video now and write those 2 things down. 2 things he likes could be being with family, amusement parks, go-karting, birthday parties. I'm sure you've come up with some interesting things that he likes too. List 5 words or phrases that describe this character. Look at his expression. Stop the video now and write those 5 words. This character, maybe, as I look at him, I think he's scared, nervous, blonde, friendly, serious, energetic. I'm sure you came up with some good ones too. There's so many to describe a character by looking at their physical looks, their physical habits, what they say, how they think. This is just practice. We are practicing right now on learning about how to look at a character and define their special characteristics that make them who they are. Oh, he's funny. Smart. List 2 things he dislikes. You can stop the video here and write those 2 things he dislikes. He might dislike cold weather, mean people, spinach, loud noises, jogging, skiing. List 2 things he likes. He's got a smile on his face. Let's see what he likes. You can stop the video now. Things he might like are biking, hiking, sleeping, baseball, basketball, swimming. Major characters. The major characters are almost always 3-dimensional characters. They have good or bad qualities. Their goals, ambitions, and values change. A round character changes as a result of what happens to him or her. A character who changes inside as a result of what happens to him is referred to in literature as a dynamic character. A dynamic character grows or progresses to a higher level of understanding in the course of the story. Protagonist, the main character in the story. Antagonist, the character or force that opposes the protagonist. This character tries to foil the main character. Foil, a character who provides a contrast to the protagonist. Minor characters. The minor characters are almost always flat or two-dimensional characters. They have only one or two striking qualities. Their prominent quality is not balanced by the opposite quality. They are usually all good or all bad. Such characters can be interesting or amusing in their own right, but they lack depth. Flat characters are sometimes referred to as states characters because they do not change in the course of the story. It can be difficult to write about a character if you don't know the person well. Spend time getting to know your characters before you put them in a story. How do other characters feel about the character? Here we have a graphic organizer. This can help you think about how you put your character together, how your character thinks, smells, what he does, who he loves, where he goes, how he feels, what he sees, what he hears. Story element, character. What role in the story does the character play? Describe the character's physical description. His name, age, gender, appearance, clothing, voice, habits, mannerisms. What traits does the character have? How does the character act? What does the character do? How does your character think? How does your character speak? What are the character's interests? How do they deal with hardship? What makes them happy, sad, or angry? What kind of energy does your character have? Story element, character. What relationships are involved with a character? How do you feel about the character? What makes him the main or minor character in the story? Who is the character's best friend? Who are the other friends? Does the character have enemies? Describe the character's family and where they grew up. Character arc. Arc is how the character is changed. How does the character grow and learn? What does the character say for you to see that they have changed? Conflicts the character experiences in the story. Conflicts with others, with self, with nature, with society, with technology, with fate. In the summary of the story, describe the character's story from the beginning, middle, and end. The story of the Three Little Pigs. We're going to take a closer look at the characters in the story. The story of the Three Little Pigs. Once upon a time, there was an old sow and 3 little pigs, and as she had not enough to keep them, she sent them out to seek their fortune. A sow is a female pig. We're going to look at the character of the old sow. And what do we know about her? She had not enough to keep them, so she couldn't keep her piglets. The sow turns out to be a minor character in the story because the story is truly about the 3 little pigs. Poor old sow. The first that went off met a man with a bundle of straw and said to him, "Please, man, give me that straw to build me a house," which the man did, and the little pig built a house with it. Presently came along a wolf and knocked at the door and said, little pig, let me come in." To which the pig answered, "No, no, by the hair of my chinny chin chin. Then I'll huff, and I'll puff, and I'll blow your house." What's another character in the story? They met a man. "Please give me straw." That's what the man was to do, to give the pig straw, to build me a house. The first little pig takes the first thing that comes along. He's another character. The first little pig doesn't plan carefully. We'll find out why later in the story. Said the wolf, as he huffed and he puffed, he blew his house in and ate up the little pig. The second pig met a man with a bundle of furs and said, "Please, man, give me that furs to build a house," which the man did, and the pig built his house. Then along came the wolf and said, little pig, let me come in." "No, no, by the hair of my chinny chin chin. Then I'll huff, and I'll puff, and I'll blow your house in." So he huffed, and he puffed, and he puffed, and we'll find out more. So now we're talking about the wolf in this character. He huffed, he puffed, and he blew the house in and ate up the little pig. Would you say the wolf is demanding by huffing and puffing to get his way? He has a bad temper? Possibly. He ate the first little pig. Let's find out more about the characters in this story. The second little pig takes the first thing that comes along. The second little pig doesn't plan carefully. Huffed, and he at last blew the house down and ate up the second little pig. The third little pig met a man with a load of bricks and said, "Please, man, give me those bricks to build a house with." So the man gave him the bricks, and he built his house with them. So the wolf came, as he did, to the other little pigs and said, little pig, let me come in." "No, no, by the hair of my chinny chin chin. Then I'll huff, and I'll puff, and I'll blow your house in." Well, he huffed, and he puffed, and he huffed, and let's find out about the characters we read about here on this page before we continue on. We found that the wolf ate the second little pig. He likes to eat little pigs. That's his character. He ate the second little pig. Oh, the third little pig. Looking at this picture, he seems to be very hardworking, building his house of brick. Going on, the wolf puffed, and he puffed, and he huffed, but he could not get the house down. When he found that he could not, with all his huffing and puffing, blow the house down, he said, "Little pig, I know there is a nice field of turnips." "Where?" said the little pig. "Oh, in Mr. Smith's home field, and if you will be ready tomorrow, I will call for you, and we will go together and get some for dinner." "Very well," said the little pig. "I will be ready. What time do you mean to go?" "Oh, 6 o'clock." Well, the little pig got up at 5 and got the turnips and was home again before 6. When the wolf came, he said, "Little pig, are you ready?" "Ready?" said the little pig. "I've been and come back again, and I got a nice pot full for dinner." Let's see what we can say about the characters on these pages. What is the wolf doing when he tells the little pig that there's a field of turnips? Is he tricking the little pig? Is he being a bit conniving? Well, let's see the character of the little pig now. Well, the little pig got up at 5 and got the turnips and was home again before 6. Wasn't he clever? He got up early and he got what he wanted and he got safely back home. The wolf was a trickster, a fake friend. He was trying to act like he was a friend. He's the antagonist in the story. He goes against the main character. He's the antagonist. Then we have the third little pig. He outsmarted the wolf. On the next page, we see pictures of the third little pig getting his turnips, being home, just waiting for the wolf to come along, and he's got his spoon because he's ready to cook. The third little pig, how was his character? He played around with the wolf in this story. He was a bit of a fake friend too. He really wasn't a friend to the wolf. He didn't stay and wait for him so they could go together. So he too was a fake friend, and he was different for the wolf. And yet when he was in his house, he was self-assured that he outsmarted the wolf, and the wolf's outside the window, kind of a bit angry with those eyes that he can't get to the third little pig. Let's read on. The wolf felt very angry at this, but thought that he would be up to the little pig somehow or other. So he said, "Little pig, I know there is a nice apple tree." "Where?" said the pig. "Down at the Merry Garden," replied the wolf, "and if you will not deceive me, I will come for you at 5 o'clock tomorrow, and we will go together and get some apples." Well, the little pig woke at 4 the next morning and bustled, that means in a hurried way, and went off for the apples, hoping to get back before the wolf came. But he had no further to go and had to climb the tree, so just as he was coming down from it he saw the wolf coming, which, as you may suppose, frightened him very much. Then the wolf came up. He said, "Little pig, what? Are you here before me? Are they nice apples?" "Yes, very," said the little pig. "I will throw you down one." And he threw it so far that while the wolf... What did we find out about these characters? The wolf felt very angry, and the pig was frightened of him. The pig is frightened. As we turn the page, Wolf was gone to pick it up, and the little pig jumped down and ran home. The next day the wolf came again and said to the little pig, "Little pig, there is a fair in town this afternoon. Will you go?" "Oh, yes," said the pig, "I will go. What time shall you be ready?" He's still angry. The wolf is very angry, and he's drooling from his mouth with the apple. "At 3, said the wolf. So the little pig went off before the time as usual, and got to the fair and brought a butter churn, and was on his way home with it when he saw the wolf coming. Then he could not tell what to do, so he got into the churn to hide, and in doing so turned it around, and it began to roll, and rolled down the hill with the pig inside it, which frightened the wolf so much that he ran home without going to the fair. Well, the little pig got away. The wolf is frightened by the little pig. He went to the little pig's house and told him how frightened he had been by the great round thing which came down the hill past him. Then the little pig said, "Ha! I frightened you, did I? I had been to the fair and bought a butter churn, and then I saw you. I got in it and rolled down the hill." The wolf was very angry indeed, and declared he would eat up the little pig, and that he would get down the chimney after him. What do we know about the characters in this page? The wolf was very angry. He's threatening, "I'll eat you up," and he declared he would eat up the little pig. When the little pig saw what he was about, he hung on the pot full of water and made up a blazing fire, and just as the wolf was coming down, took off the cover of the pot, and in fell the wolf, and the little pig put on the cover again, in an instant, boiled him up, and ate him for supper, and lived happy ever after. Okay, this is the end of our story. What do we know about the characters? The pig, he saw the character of the wolf, and he made a plan. He hung them on a pot full of water and made a blazing fire. And in the end, the pig ate the wolf for supper. The third little pig was clever. He was clear thinking. He saw what the wolf was about. He was a survivor. He didn't lose his life like the other little pigs. He's a dynamic character in the story. He's the protagonist. Character comparisons between the wolf and the third little pig that survived. What we know about the wolf, the differences about the wolf. The wolf was very angry. He was a trickster, and he was hungry for the 3 little pigs. The wolf was threatening. The third little pig never threatened him. He just went on his way and did what he needed to do. He wasn't trying to eat anybody up. He was different than the wolf. The third little pig was hardworking. He was clever. He outsmarted the wolf. He was clear thinking. He was self-assured and a survivor. Although they had their differences, these two characters also have similarities. The similarities are they were both frightened at some point in the story, and they were both fake friends to each other. They acted like they were friends, which they were not. The little pig acted like he'd go along with the wolf, and the wolf only wanted to eat the third little pig. This is a short poem about a contented boy. I'm going to read the story to you, and then we're going to look at his character. A contented boy. I know a boy who lives far away. No other child does he see all day. Yet 'tere hard to find a better sight than this boy, happy from morn till night. Amusement he always finds at hand. For hours he'll play in the heap of sand. And you never will hear him fret or say, "There's nothing for me to do today." In rainy weather he'll stay indoors and build himself a nursery floor. Oh, such castles, so wonderfully high, it seems as if soon they will reach the sky. His blocks, they are nothing but empty spools, not changed in shape by ingenious tools. And they give him such delight and joy, as if each were a wonderful costly toy. Sometimes he fancies they each have wings, and fly like wonderful fairy things. But I never could tell you half the ways he uses these spools in his games and plays. But this I know, that I mean to strive, a copy myself, this boy of 5, to contently take what falls to my lot, and not always be sighing for what I have not. We know that he's a boy. No other child comes to see him all day. He plays by himself. He's happy. He amuses himself. For hours he'll play. Never will hear him fret. His blocks, they are nothing but empty spools, meaning he's a poor boy. He doesn't have the usual conventional toys, but he's delighted with joy. We know that he uses these toys in many ways, and that he's a boy of 5. We've just discovered the character of this boy. We know he's a boy. He plays. He's able to amuse himself. Doesn't have too many friends. Doesn't complain. Is creative by using his things around the house as toys. And he's 5 years old. Are you getting the hang of understanding character? There's a lot to a character. There's his behaviors and his personality. Assignment. Who is your favorite character? Think about a character from a book that you've read. Let's look at a character map. We have to ask the first question. How does the character feel? What does the character say? How do I feel about him? What does the character look like? His actions. Character sketch. Physical appearance and personality. Find a quote from the book to describe the character's physical appearance. Put the quotation marks around the quote and the page number. Likes and dislikes or worries. Find a quote from the book to describe the character's likes or dislikes or fears. Put quotation marks around the quote and the page number. Be sure to write your character's name. Write a paragraph describing this main character, and use the information from this character sketch. Relationships with others or hopes and dreams and goals. Find a quote from the book to describe the character's relationship with other people in the book. Put the quotation marks around the quote and the page number. Biggest problems. Find a quote from the book to describe the character's biggest problems in the book. Put quotation marks around the quote and the page number. Developing characters in our writing. To make your character come alive, you need to know how they think, how they feel, and what they like and dislike. When you think of the characters in your story, they have certain traits. I'm going to tell you some of their traits to help you think and develop your character as you write. Here are some positive and negative traits. Story element character. Positive character traits. Adventurous, attentive, ambitious, brave, charming, cheerful, considerate, cooperative, courageous, curious, easygoing. Negative character traits: afraid, aggressive, angry, annoying, anxious, boring, bossy, careless, cruel, dishonest, dull. More positive character traits: friendly, fun, funny, brave, generous, graceful, hardworking, imaginative, intelligent, kind, loyal. Negative character traits: evil, hateful, impatient, jealous, lazy, mean, messy, nosy, pessimistic, selfish, shy. Positive character traits: lucky, polite, pretty, smart, thankful, trustworthy. Negative character traits: spiteful, spoiled, stubborn, unfriendly, worried. This is an example of a character sketch that you can use to describe your character when you're writing a story. The inside would be the name of your character, then you would describe his feelings, his description, his behaviors, and his personality. I hope you enjoyed this lesson on learning about characters. We broke down the characters of the story, The Three Little Pigs. I hope you got a good idea of the protagonist, the antagonist, and what a character is, as they're always three-dimensional. I hope you like this lesson. Give me a thumbs up and subscribe for more lessons like this. Thanks for watching.